2015, two local powers put their best stick forward. Is 6th-ranked Bel Air for real in football? Or was last week's win over the defending state champion a fluke? Can City's football team pull off an upset against 2nd-ranked Calvert Hall? We have the answers next.
The Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show.
He's going down the right sideline. He's going right side.
Today's show is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods, Papa John's, and the Baltimore area Toyota dealers.
Hi, and welcome to the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. I'm Jerry Bembry, sports writer with the Sun. There was a big field hockey game yesterday matching two undefeated local powers. We'll take you to action from that tournament. Friday's football action featured a battle of two top 10 teams. We have those highlights. We'll open today's show with football. Just over a week ago, 6th-ranked Bel Air defeated the defending state champion Wild Lake. How did Bel Air fare in Friday's game against Edgewood? Let's take a look.
Finger pointing by the Zebras started early in this grudge match between Bel Air and Edgewood, where penalties and turnovers dominated the contest. But that didn't stop Bel Air's Justin Amreen from finding the end zone first for a quick Bobcat score. It was 6-0. They would add a two-point conversion as Adam Rafalski takes it in on the quarterback sneak to complete the scoring drive and give Bel Air an 8-0 lead. Defense and rough play were standard fare throughout the night as Bel Air's Rob Cofine recorded 3 quarterback sacks, and there were 3 personal fouls called for unsportsmanlike conduct. Turnovers also played a key role as both teams scrambled to take control of a game that seemed out of control. No one wanted to win, it seemed, time and time again throughout this game. And even after a great pickoff here by Edgewood's Malik Alston, he had trouble finding the handle. Bel Air's Adam Rafalski decided to get a handle on things late in the second quarter when he sees no daylight to the left, goes back right side, goes through the hole for a 30-yard touchdown burst that would lead the 6th-ranked Bobcats to a 15-0 victory. When number 2 Calvert Hall met number 8 City Friday afternoon, it had all the makings of being a wide-open game, but it was all Calvert Hall. 6 minutes in, Cardinal touchdown, Chad Parsons goes in, the big fullback makes it 6-0. In the second quarter, City quarterback Juwan Yancey tries to open it up, but misses his target. Mark Orndorff steps in front to snag the pass. 35 yards down the field he goes. Sets up Calvert Hall's second TD of the day with senior fullback Greg Smoot barreling through the line. Two-point conversion would bring the score to 14-0. With under a minute left in the half, Cardinal junior quarterback Joe Hines runs a masterful misdirection. Quickly, Chad Parsons is out in front for his second score of the game and a 20-0 lead at the half. Cardinal fans say, we'll take that. In the second half, it was Calvert Hall again. 9 minutes in, Michael Dyson runs off tackle for a 2-yard strike, which would virtually put the game on ice, 26-0. But Yancey says not so fast, and this time connects with Bryant Johnson, who sprints downfield 65 yards for City's first and only score. The Cardinals would then add one more score to finish strong for a lopsided 33-6 victory over the Knights. Runners were fired up for the Westminster Invitational on Wednesday as Westminster's boys and Delaney's girls came up big winners. South Carroll's boys also had a great showing, with 4 finishing among the top 7 and 5 in the first 19. But it was last year's state champion Jason Santucci of Westminster High who ran away from the pack to win the 3.1-mile event in 17 minutes 4 seconds. He was followed by Delaney's Greg Vinson, who finished 5 seconds behind, and then teammate Josh Davis, who crossed the line 6 seconds back. Next, it was the ladies' turn, and no one was going to catch Delaney on this day. They would finish 51 points ahead of C.M. Wright, who totaled 103 points, and then Urbana, who had 104. The Delaney Lions were led by Carrie Hack, who on a late kick showed great courage, finishing first on the 3.1-mile course with a time of 20 minutes, 24 seconds. North Carroll's Colleen Lawson finished 12 seconds behind, and Heather McHugh of C.M. Wright was third. Santucci says, I'll take this, and add it to the trophy case. South Carroll and Westminster will go toe-to-toe with one another 5 more times this season as the Cavaliers from South Carroll have their eye on the prize with hopes of grabbing the county title.
Now let's take a look at some of the top 15 football teams fared, as well as some of the boys and girls soccer and field hockey results from around the region. When we come back, two of the area's best field hockey teams faced off yesterday. That's our Dick's Sporting Goods Big Game of the Week, and it's next on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. Welcome back to the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. A year ago, the Severna Park field hockey team won the Class 4A title with just one blemish on its record, a loss to Roland Park. Yesterday, the top-ranked Falcons got a chance at revenge playing third-ranked Roland Park. Before we go to the big game, let's take a look at some of the classroom stars. First from Roland Park, Brianna Gretchen Crook, a senior goaltender who consistently earns top honors in the classroom. And Severna Park's Beth Davis, an honors class senior who had a 4.1 GPA. Now we'll take you to perhaps the field hockey game of the year, and it's Dick's Sporting Goods Big Game of the Week.
The first annual Sally Nyborg tournament pitted #1 Severna Park against #3 Roland Park. But this tourney was about more than wins and losses and top 5 rankings. The day-long field hockey event was dedicated in memory of Roland Park field hockey player Sally Nyborg, who died from complications of lupus back in May. Sally's father, Richard, summed it up best.
Those of you who were her teammates or knew her know how much she loved field hockey and enjoyed playing it. We are pleased that Roland Park has chosen this tournament as one way to commemorate her life.
This tournament provides Severna Park an excellent opportunity to exact a little revenge on their loss from last year, and more importantly, stake their claim as the top team in the entire area. But it was the Reds who drew first blood. Off the restart, Betsy Gaines gets it to Allison Higgins, and she blasted by the goalie for a 1-0 Roland Park lead. Severna Park would retaliate just 2 minutes later. Sarah Zuckerman backhands it into the net, goes off the defender and in. It's all tied up at 1 apiece, and we've got ourselves a pretty good ball game. Severna Park had a great opportunity to move ahead just before the half, but Beth Davis's shot is saved by Gretchen Crook, who robbed her on that one, so we're tied up at 1 at the half. Still tied at 1 with a minute and a half to go in the match. Roland Park's Elizabeth Ryan feeds it in front for Kristen Sudina. That is your game winner as #3 Roland Park upsets #1 Severna Park 2-1, a fitting tribute to their former teammate. How special is it?
Oh, it's incredibly special. This morning I woke up and I just said a prayer to her and said, Sally, this is for you. Everything I do today is for you. And I think she helped me score that goal.
Pulled one out against this squad. It seems like you just sort of have their number.
Well, I think the key number is pulled it out because they definitely are a class act. That's the best team we've played, and you could tell because our passing was not as good as it usually is because they were in the spaces and they blocked it up. So they're an incredible team.
The 4-0 Reds certainly have a lot of confidence after this big win. May very well have made their case for the #1 spot in the entire area.
In this, his second year as coach of the John Carroll girls soccer team, Gary Lynch set his goals high, win the Catholic League championship. Well, Lynch's team entered last week with an unbeaten record and had the top spot in the Baltimore Sun girls soccer poll. For that, he's the Toyota Coach of the Week.
Generally, everything that we do is very competitive, and we try to breed that in our players to be competitive, and probably, I guess if I sum myself up, it'd be pretty competitive.
And Gary Lynch has won his fair share of competitions. Since beginning his coaching career in 1985, he's been named Catholic League Coach of the Year, the NCAA Coach of the Year, enjoyed 6 regional rankings and 3 national rankings, just to name a few. But he doesn't do his job for the honors. He does it for the love of it.
When I stop loving it, that's when I'll get out of coaching. That's the only reason that I do it. I love the game, and I love the kids, and I love the competition.
And Gary loves the fact that his team is #1, but he knows it will take a lot of hard work to stay there.
All the newspapers and all kind of call you at the beginning of the year, and they ask you what you think your record's going to be. And, of course, we always feel our record's going to be undefeated. If we say that our record's going to be 12-5, well, then we feel obligated to try to tell them, well, which 5 games are we going to lose so we can work harder. But, no, we're extremely optimistic, especially with this group. This group is really working hard. They're young, but they work very hard.
Congratulations, Gary Lynch. Now here's a look at some of the area's best student athletes. When we return, we'll showcase this week's Toyota Athlete of the Week. Toyota and the Baltimore Sun will recognize outstanding male and female athletes. This week's winners are Lee McDuff, a sophomore cross-country runner at River Hill, who's one of the top distance runners in the state, and Jerry Hicks, a senior tailback at Mount Hebron, whose 5 touchdowns in a game broke a school record. We congratulate Jerry, the Toyota Athletes of the Week.
Cross country is like a lot more of a team sport than track, because you're all racing towards one main goal. And I would say most people in the school respect us for it, because I'd have to say it's one of the harder sports, mentally and physically.
And Lee McDuff is earning a great deal of respect the past 2 weeks. This River Hill sophomore in her first season of running won the 3.1-mile Spike Shoe Invitational with a time of 20.05. That's 31 seconds ahead of the second-place finisher. Last week, she finished first again in the Interstate Invitational.
I'm just really competitive, and so it's good for me, because, it's a really competitive sport, and then just thrill of if you do well afterward, it's just a really good feeling.
Lee is a young lady that has incredible physical ability as far as running is concerned. Former soccer player. We convinced her that she should put the soccer ball on the shelf at least for a while and give cross country a try, and she has proven through the first week to 2 weeks of this cross country season to be the premier performer.
I like the team, and the coaches, just everything about it. Practices are so much fun. We have spaghetti dinners before every meet, and just the whole team orientation of it. It's just awesome.
And we think Lee's achievements last week were pretty awesome too, which is why we congratulate her as the Toyota Female Athlete of the Week.
Jerry is our big play person. Jerry has the ability to score from anywhere on the field, and that's great for an offense to have somebody that 65, 80-yard run given a little seam. So the team looks up to him.
And it seemed every time anyone looked up last week, tailback Jerry Hicks was in the end zone. He shattered Mount Hebron's scoring record established in 1986 with 5 TDs and 164 yards rushing against Appleton.
I'm just thinking about scoring a touchdown. I just want to score. That's all I'm about, no matter where in the field. I'm looking for a touchdown in every play.
Hicks had touchdown runs of 6, 27, 65, 1, and 5 yards. He credits his work habits during daily practices for this record-breaking achievement.
Working my quickness every day, my speed, which I think is helped me big time this year, because I think I'm really fast, much faster than competition or the defense.
Jerry works hard at practice. He comes to practice ready to play. He performs great during the games. He's also a very good student.
And as a college student next year, Jerry is looking forward to studying computer science and playing football if he's given the chance.
It'd be great to play 4 more years in college. I'd love to do that football on the one.
And congratulations to Jerry Hicks, our #1 Toyota Male Athlete of the Week.
You want high school highlights? We've got high school highlights right here, including the Outstanding Play of the Week.
Our highlight reel comes courtesy of our football games this week, beginning with a nice job by Calvert Hall's Ed Kearney on a punt return against City. Kearney is able to dodge tackle after tackle, keeps his feet in bounds, 38 yards in the return. The touchdown strike from City quarterback Jawan Yancey deserves a second look as wide receiver Brian Johnson hauls it in, sprints 65 yards downfield to the end zone. Moving over now to Harford County for a match between Edgewood and Bel Air. The Bobcats' Adam Rafalski takes this punt, dodges in and out of holes looking for daylight, and finds it, but unfortunately could not hold on to the ball. And Edgewood's Shannon Maynard pounces on it. Our highlight reel just could not be complete without yet another stellar hit by our cameraman on Bel Air's Adam Rafalski. Look at this, coming at you in your living room. Whoa! Fortunately, Adam was okay because soon thereafter he again makes our highlight reel with the outstanding play of the week on this stellar 30-yard touchdown run. Great job, Adam.
When we come back, we'll meet this week's Papa John's featured student athlete. Don't go away. On the Severna Park field hockey team, they call her the Spark Plug. And that's because Sarah Zuckerman is the player that makes the top-ranked Falcons go. A second-team All-American pick last year, Zuckerman is having yet another standout season. And this week, she's the Papa John's featured student athlete.
She's a catalyst on the field. She's always where she should be. She plays with a lot of intensity and a lot of heart.
I think a lot about strategy while I play, creating opportunities, making things happen. It's just kind of the love of the game and running around and focusing on what you're doing, and everything else that's been going on during the day is kind of second priority at that point. Just kind of playing and trying to have fun and being with your friends and being happy you made a successful pass and pushing each other.
And Sarah Zuckerman has been the catalyst who has helped push the Severna Park Falcons to their #1 ranking. Her spirit and determination on and off the field is what drives her.
I think part of being a leader is like having a dream and like having a goal. And I want to succeed on this team, and I want this team to succeed. So I think in that sense, I am a leader, just because I hold this aspiration for us.
Sarah's very short in stature, but she's very well looked up to. She tries to be the best here on this team and do the best that she can. And the nice thing about Sarah is she's always helping other people so they can be their best.
And helping others is what this honor roll student enjoys.
I like to do things that deal with people and push myself to be creative and push my boundaries, and are always challenging me to grow and to think. I work at the special ed department here during a class. It's an alternative credit. And I give therapy to an autistic child outside of school on the off season and in the summer. So I just got involved because I love it.
Success hasn't come easy for Sarah. When she transferred to Severna Park her sophomore year, she had a great deal of work ahead of her.
When I came here, I challenged myself and took like the hardest honors classes, and I wasn't getting the same individual attention with my reading that I needed at the small private school. So I didn't do very well the year that I transferred my sophomore year. But last year I did receive principal's honor roll, which was a big surprise to every family member I have. But principal's honor roll means straight A's. I've been put in a lot of situations where I'm the youngest or I'm the least experienced, and I've been pushed. I've never been in a situation where I'm always like top dog or always the best in the classroom or the best on the team. So you realize that there are people better than you and there are people worse than you, but you're never the best and you're never the worst. The people that I'm involved with and the people that affect me have definitely pushed me in every way. I mean, a lot of my coaches have stuck me on their teams and found me to play with, and that pushes me to be better on the field. And my mom and my advisor have always pushed me to be better in the classroom.
Well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for watching the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. We'll be back next week with the best in local high school highlights right here. Until then, check out the Sun each day for the latest prep scores, features, as well as comprehensive coverage of today's Ravens game. I'm Jerry Bembry, sports writer with the Baltimore Sun. Until next Sunday, have a great school week ahead. Our Prep Athlete Awards are courtesy of Larry Beck, the Trophy King.